WEFM is SVG.
Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, so the time here in SVG, it is 9:23, and we are in our Talk to Me segment for today's program. Remember, Talk to Me is where we pointer, go up. Just here. All right, there you go. All right, so remember, Talk to Me is where we we get more interactive with you, our listeners, where we take your questions, your comments, your thoughts on anything that may be on the top of your head that you wish to bring to our attention. You want try the water in your head, Christal. Try the water. All right. So the number to call to get interactive with us is 457-9997. You can call us directly or through WhatsApp, right? Send a WhatsApp message or call us through WhatsApp as well. All right, so we're giving you 10 seconds. 10. 10 seconds up. All right, there we go. Yes, everything is on fast forward.
Fast and Furious 10 or something?
All right, so we are going to be talking on something specific this morning. Specific. We are going to be talking on something specific this morning. So, Diana, over to you.
All right. So a story this morning comes from a young lady by the name of Christal Wiley, or a lady by the name of Christal Wiley. So this is the post, right? She posted on Facebook, parked at Massey, Annesville at approximately 7:55 p.m. tonight.
Last night.
Yeah, which was last night. Left my daughter and aunt inside. 5 minutes after, my aunt is running into the supermarket saying that a man is trying to break in the vehicle. A medium-sized Rasta man and a friend of his tried breaking into the vehicle. Luckily, my daughter saw them acting suspiciously and locked the doors seconds before. They began honking the horn and the man refused to run away. My daughter jumped in the driver's seat and reversed to get away, and the Rasta man still pulling the doors trying to get inside. When I came out and made a block looking for them, the bold-faced man stand up at the bus stop watching me, then jumped in a van and left. And she ends by saying, "Be careful out there, ladies. I don't know why Massey or the property owner allow persons to loiter there. I never felt comfortable going there at night with these men lingering around." That is the post there from Miss Wiley.
All right.
So this morning,
go ahead, sorry.
we're talking about safety in parking lots. That is what we're talking about this morning.
All right, so it is unfortunate that this situation happened. I actually know Christal and, familiar with her child in a sense. So we have a call. Yes, we have a call. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Can I speak to Christal, please?
She's
Christal.
there.
I'm here.
With the scene. Christal already seen.
Midday, what's up?
Could one of you explain what Diana is doing on this program?
Do you know Diana?
Is this
Diana
Sean
Keane.
Frederick?
Oh, you get
This
called
is
out.
sounding like Mr. Frederick. Mr. Frederick, I am
You want a massive scandal. What are you doing on the radio?
I am on the radio doing some talking. You know, right now we're hosting this segment called Talk to Me. So talk to me, Sean. What do you what advice? What advice do you have for us all ladies in particular about being safe in parking lots? Talk to we.
You see this feminist thing right as they're going with. First of all, the incident, if it's true, it's not good at all for the safety of women, children, and for that matter, anybody.
Mhm.
So I don't want to make it into a feminist
Okay.
discussion because people's safety is tantamount.
Yes,
Mhm.
true.
What I didn't like about this statement, though, I'm not going to say this to sort of trivialize the incident, is the messy situation about being safe and allowing people to loiter because the bus stop is right there and it bothers with a public space, one. And then I don't think that institution can control the amount of people that either walks through there as a path or just stand there or whatever. I think people's safety depends on them. What I couldn't understand about the post is were the aunt in the car while it's because it said the child jumped in the driver's seat and tried to reverse. That was a little bit confusing for me. But
Maybe the child
at
was
the
in
end of
front
it,
and the aunt behind.
oh wow.
No.
I'm not. It's not on them. Oh wow, though. It's just like good move on the child's part. There is a lot of areas, not just in Kingston, out of Kingston, that are considered to be hotspots, dark areas. Like I see people walking in some spaces, sometime in town. Like you don't walk there that hour. You know, it is one of those areas, and the police should probably publicize it more. That a lot of snatching of chains and bags, those petty crimes now, happens. And I see people just gradually, casually strolling in those areas. Like, what are you doing there? You're female, standing in some spots where if they could be dragged into some, it's just so dangerous in our society today. Then I think every single intention ought to take full responsibility for their safety. As in, there's things you could do when you perceive that a particular space or being around certain people could pose a threat. And I think that is something we need to teach people how to respond to those threats and the levels of those threats. Is it severe? Is it very minor? I could just walk away and probably go somewhere where people can see me, or there's a camera above my head. There's a lot of things. But on the particular issue, again, the lady, I'm not sure if she called the police before she confronted the individual, because I'm not sure if they were so adamant to get into the car. For what reason? Whatever reason. Why are you trying to confront them, or what were you hoping to achieve confronting them? And this is not an attack on her. This is just giving my perspective on the whole scenario. But we ought to put the extra effort in to protect ourselves.
Well, it's one of the things though. So I know that yes, you made mention of not liking that mass itself was targeted, given that the bus stop is there, etc. Right? But in a sense, don't you think that as a citizen, when you're going to a business place, that you are expecting a level of protection in a sense, right? Because the car parks really should have security guards there as well, right? We've noticed that in situations, and this is not an attack on Massey, it's just one of those situations that has been highlighted time and time again, where there are persons who congregate in these vicinity in the car parks that make it difficult for persons, or make it uncomfortable for persons who want to do business with the company, and by extension, I think hearing of this particular situation is a bit alarming for me, because I've never necessarily heard of, and it's what it sounds like it could have been a carjacking, right? Or possibility of or attempted carjacking. And I can't say that I've ever really heard of that happening here in SVG, especially given the time of the night. It was at 7:55. So that's still relatively early in the night.
Yeah. The space we're talking about, I am not sure. And if the facts are there, somebody should tell us that the parking lot is run by Massey, first of all. It's also a shared space because KSC operates there. And I think they're one of the basic property owner, because it's called up Massey. I think Massey is just a tenant.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
You understand
Fair
what I'm
enough.
saying? And if I'm sitting at the bus stop, it is pretty easy for me to just stand in the car park area when somebody pull in. Come into the car park area when somebody pull in and do whatever. So this is why I think that sort of threw mud on the whole situation, and in my eyes, in my mind, that the focus really should have been on calling the police. Probably she did. Instead of standing up and watch this man go in a van. Did you identify him? Did you take a picture? Did you video him? Is he ever going to be caught? And all of these things is what I want to know, because once you're able to get some justice from that situation, then we go. Other person might think twice about doing the act.
Maybe that
is what
was
kind
her
of keeps me at it.
intention, to try to be able to see who it is so she can give as much information as she can possibly to the police.
I think we need to read it again, but yeah. It's very unfortunate.
Indeed.
A lot of these crimes go unsolved because I don't know if it's out of fear or something. We just don't react. We don't do the right thing in other spaces. The first defense is the phone. Once you pull out the phone and start recording, my phone hours on cock. Because especially, what I mean on cock, because
No, I know what you
people say
mean,
things
yeah.
to you, and it is proof of, for example, defamation. It's proof. It's just proof.
Yeah.
Especially somebody is being aggressive towards you. You pull out your phone and you show that you weren't being as aggressive as they are, and then you record the whole thing. Sometimes it works, but it's really, really unfortunate that someone will want to target a young child, and in particular a female. It's not unfortunate. It's just what the society is today. There are just people out there, they're lazy, they're vagabonds, they ain't good for nothing, and they just want to hurt others and take what people work hard for, and we need to stand up against that.
Agree.
Stand up against that.
Yes, sir.
And ladies, please, ladies in particular, y'all be careful out there. Places like those beach gaps, walking certain dead spots in Kingston where it's not well lit. Under these galleries, there are a lot of vagrants. And they're getting so aggressive because they have to buy the crack. I had to tell a young man I knew from Lomans, he's now smoking crack. He's right up in your face at the Allen's Bakery van. Madonna. So I make it don't give it that one to you. Boy's so aggressive because he needs that money to go and buy the crack.
Sounds
And they just
familiar.
like they lose their mind. Yeah, once you stand there, they're right up on your face. To three of them. And there are a lot of them out there who will just do anything to get that money. So they seem to be careful.
But
people walk with phone in their hand and all kind of things. It's crazy.
And back pockets and
Not to
make
keep-
yourself a target.
Yeah, not to keep you on the phone for an extended time, but you see, you keep saying to be careful, right? Now look at what has happened in this situation. I'm looking at the time of day in a space that more than likely would have been populated with other persons. I don't think that it was just going to be her and her family who were there. So it's like, what else are persons supposed to do? Because look at the hour of the day.
But in all fairness, though, the young lady in the vehicle, she was able to pick up that something was off and
Very
lock the
quick
doors.
thinking. Very quick
So
thinking.
she more than likely would have had a bit of training. So I think in that space, they were doing what they needed to do before and during the incident. So
yeah. All right.
Definitely. I think we just need to be a little bit more vigilant.
Yes.
Consider everybody is a target anytime, anywhere. And each and every one of us, don't just make it a 9-day talk. Diana, let us do what we have to do to always be aware and to be responsible and to be our brother's keeper too, because me operation. They say anybody do any woman. I drive in and I see a boy trying to pull a nose friend, a good actress. Boy, I stop right in the middle of the road. If it's chase them, the vagabond. Like some hero. But me little fat not something like catch up. But I knew who he was. So
I say there's a fat say catch him.
That's the only part here that you want to repeat?
You said so fast. Yeah, but I mean,
nice conversation.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, those are the kind of things that more people need to do instead of just seeing and just like turning a blind eye. You need to get active because you need to continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, remember, we're also putting ourselves at a risk.
That's true
we have
too.
to assess the situation and see where best we can help. Even if I were to just turn back and trail him, that would have helped. But I was brave enough to run up because I know him and he can't come around me unless he had a weapon or something. But yeah, we need to be a keeper and protect each other.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Thanks, Sean.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye, Sean.
All right. So we have another call on the line. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning. According what the gentleman said, shouldn't the authorities go look into that, get videos from Matthew KFC or something?
Well, this is a thing. Maybe at this point, and as he said, if she has made a report, then I guess the necessary steps can be taken to further the investigation.
Well, there's a report out there, right? Because how you get the information?
Or she had done a Facebook post, a public post. So that's how
Right. But she said she talked to the police or anything?
It wasn't stated in her post yesterday. It wasn't stated.
Right.
I didn't even read through the comments,
again,
actually.
Subway, downtown is the same thing too.
Mm.
You have a bunch of 10-year-old, 12-year-old boys being gangster. Every time you go in there, they're begging you for money and they're getting aggressive to the customers too. So all these things that the police is supposed to look into. That's like how they clean up Ace. Do the same thing with these, 10-year-old, 11-year-old. They're begging and they gain you talk if you ain't give them the money and stuff like that.
Mm.
It's a very serious situation with these young kids too. You know what I mean? Because it's like 7, 8 of them hanging out Subway and, they're so aggressive at that age. You know what I mean?
And both branches too. In Annisville, they used to be very prevalent in Annisville, but I don't see them that much in Annisville anymore. But in Kingstown, I know for a fact that they've had interactions with the police, at least one of them. They've had and they've been like in and out of the system and so on. So the police know them. But it's just how do you control this group of young males when every Monday morning there's a new person, you know?
But what I'm saying, you just can't do it one day and trace them and then thing. You gotta make sure you gotta be up on them every day and
the parents also need to be, and
parents.
The parents, some of them would have lost parent or parents too, right? But it's something that is not so easy to resolve because some of them were in the system already, and they've attempted multiple times with them, but.
The reason why I said parents is that some of them are just left to their own devices. So the parents really are not.
Lock up the parents for neglect.
Well,
but anyways, that's a different conversation.
I could add something else.
Sure, go ahead.
Something else.
Sure, go ahead.
I went to a restaurant out in the country. Well, not too far, a little past Prospect. We finished eating and stuff. We gave the young lady a tip. So I see she went to the cashier and then she came back and said, well, you had to turn in the tip? She said, yeah. So I said, why? She said, because at the end of the month, they either get it or they don't get it. I said, what do you mean? They said, sometimes they give it back, they give it back or they don't. I said, but that's not right. If I give you a tip, that's yours. That's how these ladies make a living. You ain't supposed to take, if you're sharing it up amongst each other, it's fine. But when you're saying sometimes you get it or sometimes you don't, that's not right. And there's that establishment. And I like the place. I'm not going to call the name, but I just hope the restaurant owners and them listen. That's not good. Let the young ladies and them own the tip. You understand? It's theirs, give it to them. Don't say you're going to share it up and sometimes you give her. I don't know if the lady was lying to me or not, but that's what she said to me. So I'm just saying out there for the restaurant owners and them, allow the ladies and them to get a tip. Don't deceive them from it. That's not nice.
What about try reaching out to the owner of the restaurant and speaking with them privately? Because they may or may not be hearing in that particular restaurant, but I believe you're trying to talk for all restaurants, just generally.
Right.
Reach out to them and let them know.
If the rest of them does it. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying that was not nice what the lady had said. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was very disappointed because when I see she went up there and handed it to like the lady at the register, and then I asked her if they split it at the end of the night. She said no, at the end of the month. But sometimes they get it or sometimes they don't. I know Vincent should not go to line to get what they want if they want extra. But I'm saying, I hope she wasn't lying. She was speaking the truth. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I just saying that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
You understand?
Mhm.
All right,
Agreed.
then, ladies.
All right. Thanks very much.
I'm disgusted.
Yeah. Well, so it goes sometimes. It's unfortunate, but
No, but I mean, one, you had to wait till the end of the month to get it.
Yeah.
What is this?
and that's the thing, because you would be earning a basic salary, right? So what it is that I'm getting in my basic salary should not be based on whether or not tips were received by the restaurant.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
I mean, even that I don't understand, right? 12 of us are working, 6 of us get tips, but the 6 who didn't impress the customers getting a piece of my tip.
say that they prefer to give the tip to the person who's actually doing the work, right? But in the context of, all right, I'll finish our thoughts after. We have another call. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. How do you do?
I am so. Just listen to the conversation or whatever has been said about the incident at Allenville and all of that with Massey and all of that. I don't know what else will make Vincentians aware. I mean, when I speak about it, it's because I know what's going on. Like I keep saying, nothing surprises me now in this country. Nothing at all. When I appear and all of that, and I don't know. What makes me feel so unhappy is how St. Vincent and Grenadines, when I was going to school, I learned it's home of the blessed. But that does not apply anymore. That does not apply in my book, in my understanding. And I'm sure you guys would have heard or maybe learned in school that St. Vincent was regarded as the home of the blessed. Anyhow, so much for that. But I just have to say, where are we going? Where are we going? Calypsonians have put out a message. The price of progress is very high, right? Meaning that if you say, and I have this thing about progress, is how we look at progress and all the negatives that come with progress, because sometimes progress could be based on, and most of the time it's based on negativity or all these atrocities that are taking place. Someone in our small country, someone who is a drug man becomes a big boy. And I've seen that in some Grenadines, respected, even protected, because they get security as well, right? And I have followed what's going on in the international world, so to speak, for a very long time. Imagine I had the experience of someone approaching me. Well, let me not even talk about that. But this is the kind of world we live in. I don't know how you young women are thinking, and to know, at one time you used to think that the woman would always be protective. But now I am hearing women are involved with the men now in robbery and all of that. So where are we going? Where are we going? So can someone give me an answer, please? Is that the kind of progress we have seen in some Grenadines? Come on. It's like better die and go to heaven or try to get to heaven and so on. Because really and truly, in my book, in how I see things, how I was brought up, the world is not a nice place, even though God Almighty made it to be a nice place. But our minds are so sick that this is all leading to a different place. Thank you. Have a good weekend, my girls.
Listen, my girl or my girls?
My girls. 3. He has 3 now.
What
Charlie's
is this?
Angels.
Charlie's Angels. But
All right.
my final comment, right? Sean mentioned something I made note of. It is that parking lot in Annisville is very difficult to control. I know in the past we've had issues of there being too much loitering, especially for students on like Fridays. Crazy out in Annisville on Fridays and after school. And I don't know if it's the property owner, have since put up these little spikes on the railings to prevent them from sitting and loitering.
There's a word for that in architecture.
Spikes? steel spikes. I don't remember. But in an effort to like curb the loitering, but the space is so open, anybody could easily access it. You stand for the bus stop, you just make a step back, and you're in the parking lot. Going to KFC, going to Massey, going to their business places upstairs too.
Hostile architecture.
Hostile architecture.
Yes.
Yeah. There's even in front of that, to cut down on the space, some equipment, heavy equipment there for sale that cuts down on the area too. So I wouldn't like want to pin it on the like, supermarket, because it's real hard. Like from observing,
Yeah, it's
I from
it's
out
a fair
there.
point.
It's the same at the other
It's
So-
a fair
at
point.
Stony Grove.
Yeah. So
Russell's parking lot.
you just need to be as vigilant as possible. It's very unfortunate that had to happen to her and her family. Be vigilant, and it's sad that you have to like literally put together a manual before you leave home to ensure that you're safe and reach back home safely.
Yeah, just to add to
Yes.
that, to wrap it up, one of the other things that I would advocate or suggest is when you are in a vehicle, right? Let's say you're waiting for somebody, don't be down on your phone. You have to look around. Even in the daytime, you have to look around, right? Because I'm talking to you.
That's a good point.
No, I'm just
The way your
thinking.
facial expression is like I'm talking to you.
No, I'm just thinking like, no wonder some people are so aggressive naturally, because you literally have to be in like protective mode all the time.
Yeah,
Like-
even when you're in a vehicle. So if I'm waiting for somebody, sometimes the windows will be rolled up. All the doors are locked, right? If once it's me alone in the vehicle, all the doors are locked, right? And I try to minimize my phone usage, right? Even when you've parked your vehicle, especially in the night, try to park where there is a light, right? That light is going to be shining on your vehicle, because more than likely somebody's not going to break in if it's well lit. If it's in a well lit area, right? Another thing too that I tend to do whenever it is, let's say I've parked my vehicle, especially in the night, and I am ready to drive off, is that I look in the trunk. I look in the back of my vehicle, because somebody could legit fit behind there. So these are little things or little steps that we have to take. Provide if somebody had gotten the chance to go into the vehicle, they could be hiding in there, and I might be driving home and then hear a voice. I wonder where this voice coming from.
Fling something in the
And then
And
me
it's
and them
not the
running
voice
into
of the Lord.
me and them run into a wall. But yeah, so so these are little things that are little steps that we have to take just to ensure safety. It's unfortunate that we have to get to that level. This does sound like an attempted carjacking. I've never really heard of one happening here in Vincy. It probably
It has
has, but I
happened.
haven't heard, at least I guess because I know of the person, right? So yeah. Diana, any tips you want to share?
Not a tip, but I wanted to say, as scary as the whole story is, one of the most troubling parts for me is that despite their efforts to raise an alarm and try to get rid of this man, the man just stayed there. You honk in your hand. And, you'd think that as a criminal, if you hear the hand, oh gosh, people going to come, you would run. But she's saying the man just stayed there. And then for her to leave the area and him just watching her all calm, cool, and collected, and then just jump into a van. It's
Probably
like
mentally
he
ill.
don't that,
So-
or he just don't care. Like, I can't be bothered.
And I think that's why the level that it has gotten to, where people just don't care. Criminals
So
just
bold.
don't care. Before you would have heard of things happening in the night, now it's happening day.
Broad
High
daylight.
daytime. People
I
just
wonder
don't
how many
care.
people were around there, because there's no mention of
Persons trying to assist.
It's true.
somebody else
That's
says
true.
But
something. you
maybe it
know.
wasn't included. You never know.
So
but
we
Yeah,
hope
it
to
is.
have an update on this story. Yeah.
Left to be seen.
All
All
right.
right.
So the time here in SPG is 9:51. We should almost be signing out, but let's quickly do community dateline and then we will sign
Oh.
out after. Oh, you forget we have that?
No, I was gonna say not one time. Y'all have a good weekend. Bye.
We will sign out just now. All right. We're coming back.
WEFM